Welcome to Metals Investors Forum. My name is Brian Leni. I'm the editor of Junior Stock Review Premium. Today with me, I have Zach Flood, CEO of Kenorland Minerals. Zach, thank you so much for presenting with me this week. Great turnout. You definitely see that the sentiment has turned in the sector.
Absolutely.
And I think, finally companies are getting recognition for the value that they have. I still think you guys are undervalued, but the share price performance we've seen over the last year has been phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Let's start with what I think underpins the value. And this is the 4% NSR on Frotet. That royalty is more and more meaningful moving forward, considering what we've seen in the market. And so why don't let's start off with the resource and then how that translates into what you have.
Yeah, the maiden resource, which we announced at the end of last year with Sumitomo as well, and that's going to be filed probably this week on CDAR, but it came out at 2.55 million ounces at about 5.47 grams per ton gold. So it was the maiden resource. It's based off of 130,000 meters of drilling. There was a substantial amount of material also at grades higher than that, even that were not incorporated into the inferred category just based on drill spacing. So plenty of low-hanging fruit there to continue expanding on, and it remains completely wide open, especially the deeper parts of the system where, we've got ore grade intercepts hundreds of meters away from even the current geologic model. So, the resource itself, I think, got a lot of recognition. People see it for what it is in terms of, at the stage of the project we're at, but it's clear that there's a huge amount of growth potential there. And, I've been saying, I think that it's quite easy to see 5+ million ounces there eventually. And when you're looking at that scale and that grade near infrastructure in a tier 1 jurisdiction like Quebec with a tier 1 operator like Sumitomo, it's no wonder our company has traded up substantially over the last couple of years based on that royalty alone.
Totally. And then you look at what's happened over the last year, going back to 2025, a great parallel for you to talk about is Origin and Altius's sale of their, I think they each had, Altius kept 0.5%, but they each sold 1% NSR on Silicon. Now, Silicon, world-class tier 1 asset, we're talking over 10 million ounces, but those are 1% NSRs with hundreds of millions of dollars transacted. You guys have a 4% NSR, might be a smaller deposit, but 4% is a significant impact in terms of a royalty.
Yeah, I think in the royalty space, there's two things. It's like how many gold equivalent ounces can that produce, and what's the mine life. And I think in a high grade orogenic gold system like we have, that we see at the Frotet project, those systems tend to be very long mine life assets that you continue to find high grade gold as they're mined out. In the case of Origin in Nevada, it's a big bulk tonnage deposit, again, huge deposit. But when you look at that royalty leverage, 1%, say, on 16 million ounces, is basically equivalent to 3% on 5 million ounces, right? And even when it comes to production, if you're looking at a large scale operation producing 500,000 ounces a year versus, an underground gold mine producing 200 or 300,000 ounces per year, it depends on what that royalty percent is, but you can easily see the same amount of cash flow from those two royalties over long lifespans. So yes, we think we're up there in that range, in that category of what Origin had and Altius had. I think a lot of the major royalty companies too. Once that one was off the table, what's left, right? No, it's a great setup. Not that we're going out and trying to, transact on the asset at all. I think that there's a huge amount of value still to be had there. But yeah, the royalty space is fascinating, and we could talk about that for, another half an hour or so. But yeah,
it's super exciting because when you have that underpinning your value, and in my case as an investor, that's what I see, and I would say there's still gap there. Yeah. And of course, like you hinted at, there's other milestones that are definitely going to de-risk what that royalty means and what it might mean in terms of size. But I really think that underpins. So all this other stuff that you do is free. It's icing on the cake. And I think one of the biggest things that I think you'd agree is that your process, this regional exploration that you localize as you find things and go down to that localized scale is working.
Yeah. And large scale systematic exploration in the greenfield space. I mean, it's found us Renault already, which is clearly a world-class discovery. We've had a few other proper discoveries of large scale gold systems. Some of those are still evolving, yet to hit the big discovery hole on some of those, but still finding a large scale gold system in the greenfield space is very rare, and we've done it now multiple times in the portfolio. So you're absolutely right. Like, that strategy works, and that's what we keep doing, and that's that's a whole amount of option value that's not really recognized in the market cap to date. And as you know, like any one drill hole can completely transform the valuation of the company. Like it has got us from a tiny junior sub 10 million when we we're scratching around just with no projects really, up to where we're at today, right, which is I think 250 million market cap. So yeah, another discovery out there could completely change the story as well.
Totally. And what, like, I love it because I see the opportunity, and like, I see the opportunity of investing in what I think is, like, you guys are at or near the top of that exploration group out there, especially given your age. But what I think is amazing is that it's being recognized on the company side. These deals that you've done with Ornova on South Uchi, what you did with Centerra, these companies see the value in what you're doing, and you're coming out with equity, you're coming out with NSRs in orders of magnitude that are much better than other project generators, and I think really set you apart. And I think that's what investors really need to pay attention to, is the quality of deals, not only the people you're doing them with, but what these people are giving you for the opportunity to option the project.
And the exploration strategy too, I think sets us apart from a lot of other project generators, right? Typically, these are large scale greenfields projects. We're not going after known mineral occurrences. We're not looking at a lot of historical data. We're going into very data poor environments, and we're collecting that first pass of say, a lot of the times it's a large scale geochemical survey over huge areas, and we're looking for that anomaly that represents the next potential discovery, like the signal of an undiscovered system that no one's recognized. And the other side of it is we typically operate. We have a great team of boots on the ground geologists, and we'll get out there and we'll operate these projects for many years and actually be making these discoveries ourselves, which a lot of other project generators tend to be more transaction focused, right? They're picking up things, they're being opportunistic, they're kind of flipping them out. Like that works too, but we've chosen to really focus in the greenfield space, large scale exploration, operating these things, and like you said, the deals are a little more I guess you're more looking at these typical farm outs where we get the carried interest, the royalty, the equity as well. Yeah,
it's excellent. So what's on tap? You should have news from South Uchi, and then later on the Wabagon, or however you say that. Wabagon.
Yeah. So there's a couple. There's a few things happening in that exploration pipeline. South Uchi has been an evolving or emerging discovery in the Red Lake district with our partner Ornova. They're going public, any day now, which will be interesting to see how that trades. There's a lot of great people involved there, including, Tom Obradovich is running it. Chris Taylor is a director, obviously from Great Bear. Bill Rand is the chairman from the Lundin group. Really good group of people there, and they're very serious about exploration. So we're, going to announce the phase 2 drill results here in the next week, and so keep an eye out for that. I expect there to be a phase 3 drill program this year as well. And then we, just announced another big grassroots discovery up in the James Bay region with Targa. We're at 3% NSR. Again, completely unknown area, unexplored. Turned up a gold system that spans kind of 4 kilometers east-west and over 1 kilometer north-south. Still haven't found the center of mass in there. Just very limited maiden drill program, but I expect there probably to be a follow-up drill program there this year as well. And then there's going to be a maiden drill program on the West Wabagoon project that you mentioned that we have option to Centerra. And that's, following 2 years of systematic exploration in those belts in Western Ontario. And we've got a big, large-scale geochemical footprint there, a big gold grain anomaly that spans, 6 kilometers kind of north-south. So we'll be testing all along that structure in the volcanics as well. And the Wabigoon terrain's known for incredibly high grade gold, and we're near infrastructure, and we've got a major mining company that's funding the exploration there. So those are kind of the high impact drill programs I think we're going to see this year. And there's a lot to talk about on the pure grassroots side, but
we'll
save that for the next one.
Yeah, for the next one, because with this, the amount of drilling and potential for discovery you guys have on tap, I think that definitely should be the focus, and it's super exciting for Kenorland KLD in 2026.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year for sure, and plus everything that's happening in the royalty space too.
That's right.
Thanks again for inviting us to the show, and
thank you.